It's time to address the kitten in the room. Chia! No, joking. I fixed the cat tower. I took the crappy leg from the top and I swapped it with a leg from the bottom. So now it's a little bit more stable. I couldn't believe the amount of comments about the cat tree. I don't think I mentioned that I fixed it in the last episode and you guys left so many comments about it. Yeah, I felt like I better fix it. It was getting pretty bad. It's only a matter of time before Nez ruins that leg because she's a beautiful plump little goose. But yeah, I felt like I needed to get that out of the way at the start of the episode before we read our horrifying Reddit stories of the day. Am I the a-hole for cancelling on an international trip because my friends added extra people to the travel group? So I was planning a trip to Japan and South Korea next May with 3 good friends that I'd known since high school. We're all 26. I had bought the flight tickets already, as did my friends, and we were in planning mode. One friend said that one friend will be joining us for a few activities who I don't know because he'd be in Japan around the same time. Okay, cool. He's got his own itinerary, so I wasn't too worried about it. Then yesterday I learned that 3 other friends of 2 of my friends are suddenly being added because they wanted to come along. They're buying their plane ticket soon and they'll be with us the whole time. I know none of these people and I literally thought that it'd just be the 4 of us. I got really annoyed by this and I told them that it'll be challenging to travel as a group of 7 and sometimes 8 with the other guy, and I frankly don't feel very comfortable traveling with 3 strangers to a faraway country and sharing rooms. They said it won't be a problem, they're chill, and we can even book a different room and I can share with the friends that I know. I still don't feel very comfortable. I don't know them. I don't know how they travel. I don't know if they're problematic to travel with. And it is kind of a logistical nightmare to plan a trip consisting of 7 to 8 people. The group call that we had yesterday to plan was incredibly annoying because there were so many people putting in their 2 cents and opinions, and at that point I'd had enough. Today I got a refund for my plane ticket and I told them that respectfully I'd be bowing out of the trip, but I hope they have fun. My friend got really surprised and also upset. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a trip that'll either be a headache or potentially filled with a lot of drama. Am I the a-hole? No, I don't think so, OP, because they didn't even tell you, did they? And no, that does 100% seem like it's going to be a nightmare. Like what, they feel like they can bring these people along without even asking? Yeah, no, I can definitely see why you're upset. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole, it's quite rude to just add people to a trip without asking and checking that everybody in the original plan is okay with it first. You're perfectly valid for not feeling comfortable to travel with strangers. Yeah, definitely, I feel like that's so inconsiderate. Yeah, like wow, pretty fast this has become a completely different trip than what we planned. Also, I feel like your feelings about this OP would be valid even if you did know all of these people, but I feel like it makes it even more wild that you don't even know them. This comment says, not the a-hole, you did the right thing. It's disrespectful on their part. The comment below that says, not the a-hole, right, cool. Just eating out will be a pain. Too many opinions. Yeah, I don't feel like you're the a-hole at all, OP. And also, it doesn't sound like you messed anything up by saying that you're not gonna go. You haven't really like inconvenienced them or something. And yeah, I feel like a group of 4 to go to Japan is sort of perfect. A group of 8? Nah. Yeah, I do feel like that'd sort of make everything a bit of a nightmare. And yeah, that on top of that, you don't even know them. And you're uncomfortable about it because you don't know them and you don't know how they're gonna act. Like what if you got there and one of the people that you didn't know was insufferable and then they ruined the entire trip? No, I feel like you did the right thing, OP. Post number 2 is called, am I the a-hole for cancelling a family vacation that I paid for after my niece stabbed me in the back? My female niece, female 18, has been like a sister to me. She's dating this guy who lives in another country. She met him while he was working at her college. They spent 3 days together and then he left. No one in the family has ever met him or talked to him or even seen him. I'd been helping with a bunch of personal issues and just getting her ready by supporting her and helping her with anything that she needed before her trip. It's important to say that this guy is military and so am I, but I'm an officer while he is a senior NCO, non-commissioned officer. Before she left, I'd asked her about giving me his contact information and making sure that he was comfortable with that. I also asked about where she'd be staying and if she could check in with me before she landed and before she was returning just to make sure that she was safe. I reiterated many times that I loved her. I was proud of her and I wanted her to have fun and to be safe. I'm scheduled to come home for the holidays and I had booked a weekend trip for her and her mum, put them in a private suite at the historic 5-star hotel and had made lunch and dinner reservations. I'm paying for the entire trip. All she had to do was show up. This is where I might be the gay hole. I noticed when I was asking her about his contact information, she was being cold and vague. She told me that he didn't have a phone number. They communicated through social media. She told me that she didn't know where she'd be staying, if it would be in or off a base. So I left it at that. I never pressured her and I respected her privacy. Well, my mum asked her during family dinner why she didn't give me or anybody in the family any contact information, and she replied that she didn't like how I had asked. She said that it was inappropriate and she told her boyfriend, who reported it to his commanding officer. I live in the other side of the country. I wasn't there during the conversation, but I guess family overheard her response and asked her how she could do that. And did she not think that her actions could cause trouble for me? Things became tense between the family after that. Most of the family vouched for me. I've sent family members a screenshot of the text thread and nobody can pinpoint where where in the conversation I was inappropriate. Also, for those that don't know about military, like a senior NCO isn't a 22-year-old kid, even though she doesn't answer questions about him because she will shut down. I know for a fact that this guy is much older because I've asked connections back home. Family thinks that he's putting things into her head because she said that he didn't like me asking for his contact information. I've done my best to help and assist her with the limited information that she provided me, and also respect her as an adult. But she was never like this. I feel upset and stressed and betrayed and confused. I've already talked to mentors and my command, and they told me that I've got nothing to worry about. I did nothing wrong. I was looking out for her as I always do and being there for her whenever she needs me. After learning about what she'd done and her boyfriend complaining to his chain of command about me, I felt hurt. So I called her mum and I cancelled the trip. A part of me didn't feel right financing an all expenses paid weekend of luxury for her. Part of me feels used and dumb for giving into her while she complained about me to her much older boyfriend, and him complaining about me when I only asked her about where she would be staying and his contact info. Family pointed out that in the text thread where she was visibly giving me the runaround, not wanting to answer, and I didn't push it. So am I the a-hole for still wanting to go out the trip I paid for, but just uninviting her instead of cancelling and maybe inviting other relatives instead of her and her mum? Okay, I'm sorry if I read that one bad. That was sort of confusing to read. By the sounds of it, I don't feel like you're the a-hole OP. Yeah, like this comment says, 18 years old, going to another country to see a guy who nobody else has ever met, who she's only spent a few days with, refusing to give contact or location information. What could possibly go wrong? The top comment here says, I wouldn't pay for her holidays. If she had concerns, she could have put her big girl pants on and voiced them to you. The situation sounds really sketchy, but she'll have to make her own mistakes now and feel the consequences of them. And then OP said, thank you for understanding. I feel some people are interpreting this as I didn't get what you wanted, so I'm cancelling the trip, but that's not the case. I feel I should add that she was smiling when she told my mum that her boyfriend has complained about me. The vibe that I got from what family told me is that she almost took pleasure in it. That's why I no longer feel comfortable taking her on vacation to a luxury hotel and a shopping spree and any fine dining events. It doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, and fair enough. But yeah, like the top comment said, it does sound really sketchy. A comment below that says, a senior NCO isn't just not some 22-year-old. They're likely in their 30s, possibly in their 40s, depending on how senior. It's rather obvious that the guy is kind of a predator and is for certain filling her head with nonsense. It's also unlikely that he would have informed the NCO's chain of command either, as he would have to reveal that he's dating an 18-year-old. Not illegal, but it would put him under greater scrutiny that he might make a move on junior enlisted that are in that age range. Not the a-hole. Tell the needs to have her sugar daddy pay for her trip. Yeah, that's scary and icky as. This guy sounds like an issue. But yeah, by the sounds of it, you're not the a-hole OP. Okay, the next one that we're going to read is on entitled people. I love reading about entitled people. Entitled woman thinks she owns the drive-thru and throws a tantrum and gets served by karma and the police. I'm at Chick-fil-A the other day. At this location, they've got two drive-thru lanes, one for regular orders and one for mobile orders, where you skip the line if you use the app and scan a QR code. I always use the mobile lane because it's so much faster. Well, not today. Enter entitled woman EW. She cuts me off pulling into the lot, red flag number 1, but whatever. There's nobody else in the mobile lane, so it's not a huge deal. I pull in behind her and I immediately notice that she's not holding a phone to scan a QR code like a normal person. Nope, she's sitting there waving at the attendants. Newsflash, nobody monitors the mobile lane. So naturally she starts laying on the horn like a lunatic. An employee finally comes over. Before he's even at her car, she starts barking at her order. And not a short one either. This woman orders like she's feeding an army. After ordering, she drives off without paying. The guy literally has to chase her down to get her payment. Then she pulls up to the window where I'm still stuck right behind her, despite having already scanned my code and being ready to grab my food in seconds. The employee at the window asked her to pull around to one of the waiting spots. She refuses, saying, no, it always takes longer if I pull around. The employee explains very patiently that pulling around won't delay her order, but it's going to let them serve the people behind her whose food is ready. She responds, it's not really fair to prepare their orders before mine when I was here first. The employee tries to explain how the food stations work, but she interrupts saying they should be all working on the first person's order. I know you just make minimum wage, but this really shouldn't be that hard to understand. Wow, the audacity. After what feels like forever, the manager appears at the window. He leans out and very politely asks her to pull around, even promising to personally bring her food out as soon as it's ready. To top it off, he offers her a complimentary peppermint shake as an apology for the inconvenience. And what does she do? She knocks the shake out of his hand. It goes flying everywhere, on him, inside the window, total chaos. She even has the nerve to beep her horn at him. That is so unbelievable. How awful can people be? Finally, karma starts to take a hold. A couple of minutes later, two police officers walk around in front of the drive-thru road, coming towards her. Entitled woman laughs at the manager, saying, you really called the police? The manager calmly responds, no ma'am, they were at the counter when I walked by covered in the shake that you knocked over. They also heard you shouting and honking. talking. I told them it was fine, but they wanted to check on the situation. At this point, the officers reached her car and told her if she doesn't pull forward and talk to them, they'll arrest her for assault and move the car themselves. She finally pulls around but doesn't stop. She just speeds out of the parking lot. The police laughed. She has a very easy to remember vanity plate, and they told the manager that they're adding obstruction of justice for failing to comply with the lawful order when they track her down. I know not all posts here have a happy ending, so I figured I'd share this one for the holiday season. Edit, some people were confused about her not paying at first. What happened was she finished barking out her order and then just started to drive to the window. At Chick-fil-A, you pay right with the person who takes your order, not at the window. Hopefully that makes it clearer. Wow, that's infuriating. The bit where they spilt their drink on the other person. Oh, that's so bad. I'd like to assume that this isn't real, but it probably is. The audacity of some people. That's actually so hard to believe, even though we read about stuff like this every day. Like, these people are definitely real, but they still don't feel like it. It's so laughable too, because they're like, oh, okay, my situation is bad because of my own actions, so let me make it much worse. And they continue to make it worse. Oh my God, I love what I do for a living. I love this so much. I love that I get to wake up and read these stories every day. It's so beautiful. I love making videos. I hope you guys love reading this stuff with me. Something about entitled stories is so fun. Story number 4 is back on Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for refusing to hang out with my friends because I always end up paying? So here's the deal. I 28 live on my own and I manage my bills responsibly, but money has been tight lately. My friends, let's call them Sarah, Mike, and Jake. It's always Jake. Have you noticed that? Have been asking me to hang out frequently, and I used to go along because, hey, it's fun to unwind with your crew, right? But here's where the issue comes in. Whenever we go out, whether it's dinner or drinks or something casual, it seems like I'm always the one footing the bill. I don't mind chipping in or covering for somebody occasionally, but this has become a pattern. They either forget their wallets, claim that they'll Venmo me later, spoiler, they never do, or just outright assume that I'll take care of it. The last straw was a few weeks ago when we went out for dinner. They invited me either knowing or not caring that I've been stretched thin financially. We hit up this nice place and they ordered appetizers, drinks, and desserts like it was their last meal. When the bill came, everybody just sat there awkwardly staring at it. Guess who had to step in? I paid because I didn't want to cause a scene, but I felt pretty resentful afterwards. When I gently brought it up later, they brushed it off saying that it's no big deal, or I'm better off financially. Not true. Yeah, even if you were, it doesn't matter. Fast forward to now, they've been asking me to hang out again, and I've been declining. I don't want to keep paying for everything or feel like the bank in the group. I tried explaining how I feel, but they accuse me of being stingy. Wow. Or not wanting to spend time with them. Of course you don't. Am I the a-hole for saying no and prioritizing my financial boundaries, even if it means distancing myself from them? No, OP, they're taking advantage of you. That is so unbelievable. And the fact that they call you stingy. This one makes me mad. They should have reacted by saying, oh, I'm sorry that we made you feel like that. We definitely didn't want to make you feel like that. Okay, we're going to start paying for our own meals. That's how they should have reacted. Instead, they got defensive and they called you stingy, laughing my ass off. Yet the top comment, not the a-hole, they're mooching off you and gaslighting you into thinking that it's your fault. Real friends don't treat you like their personal ATM. Protect your wallet and your peace. Yeah, they suck, and I hate the way that they reacted too. Like, they don't care how you feel, OP. They're annoyed because they know that you're going to stop paying for them. They've been taking advantage of you non-stop. Like, there's a word for these people. Leeches. Yeah, the second top comment. Protect yourself from toxic, gaslighting people like they are. You can see that what they're doing is working since you're questioning yourself. It's an addiction to satisfy toxic people. But in this stage, you've got a choice. Make the right one and run. 1,000,000%. Yeah, I'd probably argue that they're not really even your friends, OP. It pisses me off the most that they do this, but then they don't feel bad. Actually, the opposite. They get annoyed at OP because OP wants to stop paying for them. They don't give a damn about how OP feels. Yeah, definitely distance yourself from them, OP, and you didn't do anything wrong. You are so not the a-hole. The next one that we're going to read is on Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for yelling at my partner because I paid them to take care of my cat and my house, and instead they made a mess? I paid my partner to look after my cat and take care of my place while I was away for Thanksgiving. I would have paid a cat sitter, but they needed the money, so I figured I'd let them stay at my place and pay them instead. I left my place pretty clean. When I came home, everything was just all messed up. Clothes were thrown everywhere, cables from my work desk unplugged and moved, furniture moved, bed not made, bathroom looking nasty. Not exactly looking after the place. More like just living in the place and not cleaning up after yourself. But what pissed me off the most was the cat litter wasn't even scooped at all. My cat had been peeing and pooing on top of the old waste for like 5 days. Initially, I tried to hold it together and not make a scene because my roommate was home and I didn't want to cause a scene, but I couldn't hold it together anymore. I yelled at her and I told her it's downright disrespectful and crappy to do. too. To me and to the cat. I feel like the a-hole because she started crying, but I feel like I'm right to be upset. Maybe just the way that I delivered it and didn't hold it together was the a-hole move. I don't know, I'm pissed off. Yeah, no, that's not good, OP, and you even paid them. No, I don't feel like you're in the wrong, OP. Like, there's not a lot of information here, but I don't feel like you're in the wrong. Also, sorry that the camera is wobbling a lot. I talk with my hands and I end up bumping the desk. But no, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. That's super disrespectful. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Imagine living with somebody who treats a home like that when they've accepted payment for caring for it. Imagine living with somebody who's cruel enough to not scoop a cat box for 5 days. Wow, is this what you want to sign up for in a long-term relationship? Yeah, 1,000,000%. Nez, who is beautifully sitting right behind me, if her litter box is not clean every night, she is very upset. OP responded and said, I got together with them when I was 19 and I'm now 23. It's the only long-term relationship that I've been in, but maybe I need to see things for what they are and move on. The litter box is an automatic one that should... Oh, wow. Okay, so it's automatic. It's an automatic one that should cycle, so maybe they just didn't realize, but it's not that hard to see, unplug and then replug and press cycle, especially because they asked them to look after the cat. I don't know, it's messed up. Yeah, it is messed up. And you've literally got an automatic litter box. This comment here says, what did your roommate think about having to live with this mess? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about as well. Like, you said that you had a roommate, so they're in there when they're in there as well. So they were messing everything up also with the roommate there too. That's a little bit confusing, but yeah, it's so disrespectful. No, I don't feel like you're in the wrong. Hey, it's me from the future. I'm editing the episode as we speak, and as I was cropping all the posts for the episode, there was an update for this one, so I felt like I better read that. Update. After calming down, she listened to why I and Reddit are upset. She apologized for leaving the place a mess and set the place right after. She said that she was a bit depressed and couldn't quite deal with life at the moment after having her hours cut at work. I was trying to help out a bit, and that's why I offered to have her stay instead of a sitter, but she totally understands why I was pissed off and was like, yeah, I should have made the place nice before you came home, because that's respectful. She also profusely apologized for not understanding the automatic litter robot, but I do wish you would have called me if she saw it wasn't working correct. Cat is okay and happy. While a lot of the comments are more balanced and thoughtful, some are kind of witch hunty and unkind. They're not a bad person overall, but I hope they can learn from this and be more mindful in the future. Right, okay, so that's a pretty good update. Like, you're still definitely not the a-hole, OP, but yeah, it's good that they recognize that that wasn't very good of them, and it's also nice that they're being understanding too. We see so many updates that go the complete opposite direction. Like, they get even angrier and they double down and they get defensive and they make everything even worse. Like, they go from being the a-hole to being like the double a-hole. So yeah, pretty good update, and I'll go back to editing. Enjoy the rest of the episode. The next one that we're going to read is on Am I Overreacting? My sister's husband basically stole a TV during Black Friday and everybody's acting like it's fine. This just happened during Black Friday and I'm still processing it. My sister and her husband Mike went to Walmart for their Black Friday sale. According to them, it was absolute chaos. Hundreds of people everywhere, barely any workers, a total mess. Mike was able to grab one of the doorbuster deals, a huge 65-inch TV that was marked down from $8.99 to $3.99. Apparently the checkout lines were so insane that people just started walking out, like literally just pushing their carts through without paying because there weren't enough workers at registers and security couldn't handle it. And my sister and Mike joined them. They walked out with a $400 TV because everybody else was doing it, and the store should have been better prepared. Oh, get out of here. So OP, they did steal it. The part that bothers me is they were bragging about it at family dinner yesterday, right in front of their kids 8 and 10 and my kids 7 and 12. They were laughing about their amazing deal like it was some funny story about outsmarting the system. I pulled my sister aside and I told her this was basically stealing. OP, it's not basically stealing. They were literally stealing. And it sets a terrible example for the kids. She got defensive saying that I'm being dramatic and that big stores expect this kind of loss during sales, and that it's not really stealing because the store couldn't handle their own sale properly. Wow. Mike jumped in saying that I need to chill and I'm probably just jealous that I didn't get any deals. Bro, you didn't get a deal, you just took it. I'm disgusted by the whole thing. Later, my kids were asking me if it's okay to not pay for stuff when stores are really busy. Yeah, see, they're having a terrible influence, which proves my point about what message it sends. My sister hasn't talked to me since I called her out, and my parents are saying that I should apologize for making drama, and that it's none of my business, but somebody needs to say something, right? Am I seriously overreacting here? Everybody's acting like this is normal Black Friday behavior, and I feel like I'm going crazy. Yeah, the top comment, it's not basically stealing, it's straight up stealing, not overreacting. They are 100% stealing. Oh yeah, I got a good deal on it by taking it. Like, yeah, what terrible role models. My sister hasn't talked to me since I called her out. Maybe that's a blessing, OP. My parents are saying that I should apologize apologize for making drama. Oh my God. Why is it that the parents always have the worst advice? No, don't apologize. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna steal. Everybody does it, whatever. And the way they try to justify it to make themselves feel better too. Like, oh, you know, everybody does it. It's a great deal. Stealing's a great deal. Okay. Like, yeah, it's Walmart or whatever. But regardless of how you feel about the company, or like whether or not it's a huge company and they're not gonna even notice or whatever, it is still stealing. And it's ridiculous to act like it was a good deal. And yeah, regardless, that's such a bad thing to sort of teach kids. And now OP's kids are asking if it's okay to not pay for stuff when stores are really busy. That's so terrible. There are so many people in the comments that are like, screw Walmart, Walmart sucks. I don't know anything about Walmart. Of course, I'm Australian. I've never even seen a Walmart. But yeah, a lot of people in the comments are saying that they suck. But yeah, still, regardless of that, definitely not a good thing to teach kids. Okay, the next one is on Am I Wrong? Am I wrong for refusing to babysit my nieces? I, 28 male with a full-time job and a scheduled clock full. My brother, 32 male, and his wife, 30 female, just had their second baby. I'm happy for them and I love my nieces very much, but I don't have tons of free time. Last weekend, my sister-in-law called and asked if I could babysit her kids for a few hours on Saturday because she had errands to run. I said yeah, thinking that it was a once-off favor. I cleared my Saturday for her and everything seemed fine. Then this week she called again. Could I babysit every Saturday because she said they needed a break? I told her I couldn't commit to that and she says, it's just a few hours. Don't you care about your nieces? Oh my God, so rude. I told her that I'd help from time to time, but there were responsibilities that I've got on my end and that a weekly commitment would not work. That's when everything blew up. She called me selfish and said that as I'm single without any real responsibilities, oh my God, I should be happy to help. Get the hell out of here. Then my brother also joined in and said that I was making excuses and letting them down. They absolutely suck. Now my mum and dad are on their side telling me that I have to step up for family. But like I didn't choose to have kids. Oh my God. And you work all the time and you have no free time. And now what? You don't have any Saturdays anymore? These people are a-holes, OP. I'm feeling guilty, yeah, because they're making you feel guilty. Because I genuinely do love my nieces and they love it when I babysit them. But it feels like I'm being taken advantage of. Am I the bad guy here? Absolutely not. Wow, this one is infuriating. How dare they call you selfish? Yeah, the top comment, you're not wrong and your family's behavior is disrespectful and inappropriate. They're not your children. I'm curious to know what your mother and father are doing on Saturdays. Yeah, like what? You're meant to give up every Saturday now? And you're a selfish a-hole if you don't? No, you're not. Yeah, like this comment says, it takes a lot of gall to expect you to give up a large part of every Saturday. It's interesting that your in-laws are judging you, but they aren't offering to take their grandkids every weekend. You are not the a-hole. Your brother and sister-in-law sound like entitled children that have narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, they absolutely do. That's so annoying. First of all, expecting you to do that, but then when you say that you can't, to call you selfish and to flip out at you. And to say that because you're single, you have no real responsibilities. That's a load of crap and everybody knows it. Oh yeah, we can see what the issue is. It's not you, OP. It's your brother and his wife's attitude. What, no real responsibilities because they're single? Like, get out of here. And your mum and dad telling you that you need to step up for family. And OP, you only feel guilty because they're guilt tripping you. Wow, that's so bad. This comment says your sister-in-law and brother are completely unhinged. Send them a link to a babysitter finder website. Or better yet, let them know that your parents offered to babysit. Yeah, you are so not in the wrong, OP. That is so unbelievable. The goal of these two. And also your parents too. I do feel like you need to be a lot firmer here, OP. Especially with the way that they responded. I feel like you should tell them that if they treat you like this, that you're never gonna help them. Because you shouldn't. This comment says, let your brother and sister-in-law know that babysitting their kids is not your number one priority. You've got a full and active life that you will not change for them. Let them know that they've got to give you 2 weeks notice if they're needing a babysitter, and if your schedule allows, you might be available. Let them know that if they keep being snarky and rude, you'll never watch their kids again. You'll be the fun relative who sees them at holidays and enjoys them from a distance. Let them know that they've got grandparents who would love to babysit them, since they're inserting themselves into a discussion they don't need to be in, and they said that family helps out. It's your life and it's your rules for what you do with your time. Yes, such a good comment. And the family members inserting themselves into a discussion they don't need to be in. That is so true of so many different stories that we read. Like the parents are always butting in when they shouldn't. And they're like always saying that they should keep the peace and stuff. Okay, I've got one more story for today. I let my 12 male son make himself something to eat. Am I the a-hole? I, 34 female, live with my 44 male boyfriend with my 12 male kid, not his father. On occasion, my son likes to cook his own dinner, using whatever ingredients that I was using. Cooking chicken for dinner, he wanted to season and cook it differently than what I was making. My 44 male boyfriend has a huge problem with it, amongst other things. Yeah, that's not surprising. My boyfriend has a habit of telling me that I let my son do whatever he wants to and refuses to see anything any other way. It's constantly, why can't he just eat what's made for dinner? It's not all the time that my son does this. It's maybe once or twice a month. He's a pretty good eater of my dinners, even though they aren't the best. On top of it, my son cooks himself breakfast every morning before school. Usually 2 eggs, a piece of toast, and caramelized onions. I don't know, he's on an onion kick. And my boyfriend hates it. Please reassure me that my boyfriend's being ridiculous. But am I the a-hole for letting my kid cook for himself sometimes? No, of course not. Like, why does he hate it? Why does the boyfriend hate it? My son cooks himself breakfast every morning, and my boyfriend hates it. Why the hell does your boyfriend hate that? Yeah, like this comment says, your boyfriend sounds like he has control issues, and it will likely only get worse. The comment above that says, what the hell is this dude still in your house demanding your time and energy over something so stupid? Picking at your kid and how you raise him? 44 years old and thinks a 12-year-old shouldn't cook? He should be minding his own business and stop making your kid uncomfortable in his own house. Does this man cook? Does he do laundry? Can he clean a toilet? I bet money that he doesn't. And OP said, we live in his house, but valid points. Yeah, no, your boyfriend's definitely the one that's in the wrong. Like the top comment says, not the a-hole. Cooking's a life skill that your son needs. It's great that he's being creative with his diet. Tell the boyfriend to step back and shut up. Yeah, for sure. And that's enough for today. That was another beautiful episode, and it's time to read something wholesome. When you're finally free from something that was a huge burden on your life. Yeah, that's such a good feeling, isn't it? Like, oh my God, I don't have to think about this anymore. Amazing. That's how I feel when I respond to my emails. Like, wow, I don't have this feeling of being weighed down. I don't have to keep reminding myself to do this. That's so unbelievably relatable. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. If you did, make sure you subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day goes to Errant Wins. Nez rolling around dramatically during the outro while Vincey was talking about Chia was hilarious to me. Yeah, I love Nez so much. She's so cute. But you can see how that post broke, can't you? The way that Nez rolls around on top of there. I'm so happy that you guys get to see the cats in the episodes. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for the support, everybody. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!